2024, a bit of a disappointment for new coasters across the industry. But you know what? That just makes 2025 all the better. And today we're going to go over our top 10 most anticipated roller coasters of 2025. Hey guys, welcome into Rollercoaster Rants. Today, we are going to go over our top 10 most anticipated roller coasters of 2025. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Marcus. What a bummer year 2024 was. But honestly, I think that just makes us that much more excited for this awesome list that we're going to go over today.
Yeah, I mean, some of the rides, started for 8 days, 6 days, went down. Some of them just never even opened. So some whole parks that were supposed to open that didn't. There's just a lot of stuff in 2024 that we want to leave behind. And it's going to make this list more exciting. Just a caveat, we're not putting Top Thrill 2 on this list because it technically did open. But that's kind of one of the examples we're talking about of 2024. Okay, well, let's hop right into it. First, we're going to throw out some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the top 10, but we definitely are still excited for. And with this list, we're doing international, so not just the U.S. There's some other really good coasters out there that we want to talk about, so we're going to do international. Our first honorable mention on the list is going to be Rapterra at King's Dominion. It's a B&M wing launch, the second in the U.S., Thunderbird being the first. And if we did this list a couple months ago, I think Rapterra might have squeaked into the top 10. But to be 100% honest, the video that came out that they showed of it running, and I know it's the winter and it's a test run, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But it looked slow. I'm going to be honest. It didn't look like it was running well at all, and the layout just looks really short. So
whenever they had the generated layout, it didn't look super enticing to me to begin with, and then the video that they showed testing
we'll get
this
to
winter,
it, but you put it next to Siren's Curse, and again they're probably boosting that up and making it look faster than what it's gonna be a little bit. Why would you not do that? Why would you put it out and make it look slow? You're kind of killing all excitement before it even starts.
Just make it 10% faster.
When this was announced, I was like, okay, this is going to be far. It's B&M. They're going to go far and above Thunderbird, what they did for that. I'm really thinking Thunderbird's going to be a better ride, which is crazy because it's from 2015.
Yeah.
But it does go 0 to 65 in 4 seconds. It's going to have 3 inversions. Again, it's going to have the elements, but it's just, it's not exciting, as exciting as it was a couple months ago.
Yep.
So. Going in our other honorable mention that we have, we've got 2 of them on the list here, and it's going to be the Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and that's going to be like a family B&M invert. It's going to reach speeds of 45 miles per hour, and it's going to be a really long ride. The reason this is on our honorable mentions, I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. We're planning on getting on it this year. It's a family coaster. It's just not as much our cup of tea as, these other ones that quite made the cut, I think. But nonetheless, I still think there's a really good, I've heard good things so far, and it being a family thrill coaster more so than just a family coaster. Definitely, and there's no way we skip it when we go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It's definitely a must do, and, it just missed the cut for me.
Yeah, I am actually really excited for it, just for the pure fact that even though it's a family thrill, it's still got some potency behind it. I mean, 45 mile per hour, and it is a long ride, so at 2,500 feet. So, yeah, I mean, although it's an honorable mention here, I actually really am excited for it, and no doubt we will not skip it whenever we go. But there's only 10 that we could really fine-tune to get on this list. And we're just going to start off with that number 10 spot. And it's going to be a Hyper GTX model, the second one in existence, second to a Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. And this is Twin Mill Racer. It's going to be at the Mattel Adventure Park. Chance Rides, of course, is making this coaster. Just a couple cool stats on it. It's 0 to 50 in under 3 seconds. Sorry, 2 vertical loops, and if it's anything like its predecessor, hopefully I have some airtime in there too.
In quality, in quality, we're hoping it's like, it does seem like a completely different ride, which is interesting because the Lightning Run is so airtime focused. And again, it's really with this, it's just, it really does look like Mattel Adventure Park's going to open this year. That's kind of been one where it's like, well, is it going to open this year? A lot of people thought it was going to open last year. It is looking like it's going to open this year. Again, this could be a miss, and it couldn't, and it might be in their 2026 list again. But I am very excited about Chance's second Hyper GTX model. And even if it is a completely different, launches and inversions as opposed to just tons of airtime, they've got me up in my seat. It's in Arizona. It's a very a unique location to maybe get out to and ride some rides. So I'm excited for it for sure. All right, going on to number 9, another coaster which was supposed to open in 2024 but got pushed back to 2025. Now this one's gonna be a little controversial just because it has, well, I guess not controversial, but it has big shoes to fill. Because a lot of people are not happy with Six Flags Great Adventure right now. Yeah. And because of the removal of King Dakar out of the blue with no warning. And our number 9 is going to be Flash Vertical Velocity. Another one where the testing of it didn't get people very excited, looked a little slow. But that being said, it does look like a great ride. I trust New Age Vekoma. Yeah. And it looks like it's going to have amazing hang time. And it's the first super boomerang model. So it being the first of its kind definitely adds a lot of excitement to it for me. I don't think it's going to be King Dakar, but I don't think it's supposed to be like a world beater coaster. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be a solid ride in the lineup. And if it can get into their top 5 coasters there, I think number 9 on this list is worthy.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not gonna live up to the King or even anything close to it, but ultimately it's gonna have a place in the lineup and where it should. And in Vekoma, I trust New Age Vekoma is so smooth.
New Age Vekoma, until they miss, we've got to have these at the top of the list.
Yeah,
they've been hitting like crazy.
If it's even remotely as smooth as the 2 family boomerangs that we rode this past year, New for 24, Good Gravy, and Snoopy Soapbox Racers at Kings Island, my goodness, it's going to be a very smooth coaster. I actually rode the POV before we recorded, or did the computer generated one, and it really looks like a lot of fun. The twisted drop followed by the zero-G roll, it looks like it's going to be an awesome ride. I just hope it's worth the wait. Of course it was delayed, so definitely excited for Flash Vertical Velocity. Hopefully we're able to get up there relatively soon, and hopefully it opens for sure this year. Number 8 is going to be one I'm actually really, really excited for, and it is Wrath of Rakshasa, Six Flags Great America. It's a B&M, and it's a dive coaster, but I think that this dive coaster could pack a punch. The POV that they dropped a few weeks ago looked incredible. The layout
looks incredible.
It looks awesome. Just
pacing looks crazy.
It looks fast.
If we wanted to just go off of previews, this could be higher on the list for sure. Yeah, because it looked great.
171-foot dive coaster, 96 degrees beyond vertical drop. It's going to whip you over that drop.
And that's kind of the thing with B&M. I feel like B&M, it's kind of the opposite of Vekoma. A lot of the rides they're coming out with nowadays, they're not as good. And they've taken a more safe approach. Now, they used to go for the massive dives that were huge trains, huge drop, didn't do a ton of elements. And then they went into the mini dives, but now, I think just a couple days ago, it's been rumored. So, whenever you guys see this video, it could definitely be in the works by now. But now it's rumored that over Six Flags Over Texas, it's going to be a Giga dive. Yeah. So obviously that's going to be going back to the Griffin Sheikr style dive. But of the two styles of the ones I've been on, I believe Sheikah would probably be my favorite, and then I think I would like a mini dive. Like I didn't go on Iron Menace, so I can't really. I haven't been on a mini dive, but just the elements, it seems like hit a lot harder on the mini dives, and the pacing just seems way better. No mid course brake run, which like kills Valraven for me.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about Wrath of Rakshasa. Again, it could have, just watching the video that they put out for it, it definitely could have jumped up our rankings some more because it looked phenomenal.
Completely agree. Yeah.
All right, and that leads us to number 7 on our list, which is going to be Fire Runner at Lost Island. It's going to be the first RMC of our list. It's going to be a single rail Raptor, and it is a clone of Stunt Pilot at Silverwood, and which is a great model. It's gonna be like a make or break for this park, because this park in Iowa, just it has, it had some hype going into it, and then apparently they've been having trouble financially, and this is kind of supposed to save the park. So Fire Runner opening there. Again, if it's a clone of Stunt Pilot, it's going to be a great ride, and we already know how good the ride is. It's going to be like a top of the line, Raptor, or the best Raptor RMC model you can get, and it should do wonders for this park for sure.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our number 7.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that a park can get an RMC, I think that kind of speaks to itself, and it just adds a huge element to a very small park. So definitely eager to maybe make a pit stop out in Iowa whenever we get a chance. But on to number 6, and this is one of the big boys for 2025, and that's Siren's Curse for number 6. New Age Vekoma, we've already said it once this video. Cedar Point, they've been sharing some photos here of late of everything, of all the construction progress, and it looks really, really good. And I'll say that my favorite part of it, I think, is as you're going over the tilt track, you're staring straight down at the midway. It just looks awesome. I think that this one is going to be fast, and honestly, I'm really excited to get up there and ride it. Potentially, hopefully early summer. That's whenever they say it could open.
Yeah, I mean, the video on this one, they've sped it up for sure, but it looks crazy. Like the pacing on that looks like
it's fast.
If it's accurate to the pacing that's going to be on the actual ride, it's going to be a top ride in the world. I don't think it is, but the pacing looks insane. And then it's just, I mean, I get it's a little bit of a gimmick coaster, but that first ride that you're going to get on that tilt track, it's going to be unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I'm just so excited for it.
It's
for sure.
I think the Gen Pop is gonna love it.
No, I mean, there's definitely some questionable parts of it, and that's really just because it wasn't meant to be here. It was meant to. Energylandia, and then it was meant to be Mexico City. Could it have went to another park? Like, if it's an amazing ride, why wouldn't they have sent it to Kings Island instead? That's a question you can have. Cedar Point, and now they're getting new for 2023. Wild Mouse, new for 2024. Top Thrill 2, and new for 2025. 3 years in a row.
3
Two
years.
being big coasters. So, whatever you think of that decision, it's definitely exciting.
Yeah.
And again, if that video is accurate, this would be like number 3, 2, 4. I'd be higher on the list for sure.
It looks awesome.
It looks amazing for sure. Okay, going into number 5. It's going to be YOY or Yoy, and I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, so pardon me on that. But it's going to be the dueling RMCs going to Wallaby Holland. It's a one green, one blue single rail Raptors, and they're going to intertwine with each other. One's going to be a thrill, and one's going to be a family. So we're kind of combining them together, even though I guess they're technically 2 separate coasters. But I mean, it's just 6 inversions. It's gonna be basically the Fire Runner, and then you also have a family like with it, and I believe it is unique layouts for both too. So it's just like definitely unique layout for the family, because there's never been a family Raptor before. But just so unique and new, and it looks it looks awesome. Like I've seen pictures of it, and the green and the blue intertwining. It looks incredible. I tout we'll be able to get out to Wallaby Holland this year, but I'm very jealous to anyone who can. And you have to tell us, how good it is and what's it like, because I'm very interested. For sure in this one.
Yeah, I mean the website has thrill and chill, so chill for that family coaster. I
such a good idea.
Yeah,
it's an incredible idea. Two single rails, like it's gonna be awesome.
I think it's gonna be fun. It's two, visually appealing and pleasing as well. So I think that this one is so unique. I'm excited to see more photos and videos of it come, especially once it opens up. It's supposed to open up in April of 25. So, I'm eager to see this one. I mean, just the fact that it's a dueling coaster. Dueling adds an entire different element to it. And then you take RMC and you take the Raptor model, and it's the very first family Raptor as well, or Chill Raptor is the website's got. So yeah, super excited to see how. Can
you imagine like doing like high five moments with like?
That'd be awesome.
Like you have like families and kids doing the high five moment, then people going upside down like crazy doing it. It's just something like I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how truly close that they are, and you can't really tell in the computer generated models.
Yeah.
I mean, you can to a certain extent, but seeing actual real video,
there's gonna be some, because they're going for this, there's gonna be some like high five, like flyover
it'd be
moments.
cool.
There has to be,
yeah.
Otherwise it'd be kind of dumb to do this idea. So I'm definitely expecting there to be those, and I can't wait to see it.
Well, let us know what you think down below, whether or not you'll think that'll happen. Definitely gonna be hard to get out there. We'll have to as soon as we can.
It's gonna be even harder to get out here. Our next.
This one's might be even tougher. It is Six Flags Qiddiya, and that is Iron Rattler. It's also a Vekoma tilt track, and it's the bigger version of Siren's Curse. It's almost 1,000 or more than 1,000 feet longer than Siren's Curse, with a total of 4,068 foot of track, 73 miles per hour, 5 inversions. I mean, this park is going to have some top tier coasters, and this is going to be one of them. I mean, that's essentially what can you say? It's going to be awesome.
Take everything we said for Siren's Curse and just amplify it a little bit, because it's bigger, it's faster, it's so it's going to be like it's Vekoma. It's the same exact model. It's going to be very similar rides, and we don't know how it's going to run. Maybe the smaller compact rides, maybe the smaller compact layout is going to be better for the model. We don't know that yet, but we do know that Six Flags Qiddiya they're going big, or they're going home with this this new park. So it is going to be bigger, it's going to be faster, so that way it just had to top Siren's Curse on the list for us. Again, we definitely won't get out there this year unless something crazy happens.
Let's win the lottery.
Let's win the lottery. Exactly. But it looks like it's going to be a great coaster, and we're not done with Six Flags Qiddiya yet, as you could have probably guessed. So we might get to something else later in the list from there. But for now, we're going to number 3. Big 3 here, and number 3 on our list is going to be Alpenfury. It's going to be going to Canada's Wonderland, and it is Premier Rides. So not a name you're usually used to hearing in the top 3. I actually dislike Premier Rides roller coasters for the most part so far, but this looks incredible. 9 inversions. It's going to be going through the mountain. It's the color of it, just how it looks. It looks amazing, and I am very excited to ride this one. It's Premier Rides having like a top of the line coaster is gonna be like a very very well could be like elite coaster. It is exciting, and I don't love their restraints, but I'll be willing to look past that to go on this, and I'm thrilled with it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you hear Premier, it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of of our premier park or coaster that we have at our home park of Kings Island, and quite frankly, really don't like how the restraints are and just how it rides. I mean, backlot stunt coaster is kind of what it is, but cautiously optimistic here. All the video,
it's gonna at worst it's gonna be a great ride. Are you cautiously optimistic that it's gonna be like an elite ride?
I don't know. I guess I'm more cautious on the fact of if it's not comfortable and like the cars just aren't that good, man, it could kind of hurt. 9 inversions. Well, it might not be super comfortable to ride.
Honestly, the inversions, though, are going to be really good with those restraints because it's really freeing, at least. So it might not be comfortable, but at least it's freeing. And this could very easily... Canada's Wonderland, for how great and big of a park it is, it does have a Giga Coaster, but, it doesn't have, an insane #1 roller coaster. So this could be, its star attraction.
Yeah.
And I think would kind of propel it into being, firmly, in that top 2, top 3 of parks for roller coasters for sure, if it is a top tier ride.
Yeah, it's got the ingredients per se to make it a really, really standout coaster at Canada's Wonderland. Canada's Wonderland, one of the most visited parks. I think it might actually be the most visited park and the Six Flags, new Six Flags.
It's either that or not.
One of those. It's up there regardless. So I think that the fact that you have that many people coming, it's going to be a great coaster. Again, you're launching out of the mountain. You've got the 9 inversions. So I don't want to say my cautious optimism is taking away of what this coaster will be. I think it's going to be a great ride, and I look forward to getting up to Toronto to do it. But I do think that my big kind of asterisk on this is we just said how many people visit the park. I'm kind of worried about capacity as well. 2 trains, 18 riders per train. I think that it'll be a long line. It's going to be a slow wait.
Yeah.
But a fun ride. Hopefully well worth the wait. But time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. On to number 2. And this one... down in Florida at Epic Universe, the hype of really, if you had to say what a lot of people in the amusement park industry are looking towards, they're looking towards May, and just how awesome that Epic Universe it looks like it's going to be. So many enthusiasts have their attention focused towards Orlando at this point, and Stardust Racers is one of those. It's a dueling coasters from Mack Rides, 133 feet, 62 mile per hour. And I think that the coolest element, and I went back and rewatched a video earlier, and it was talking about one of the construction engineers said that they purposely wanted that area of the park to stay dark, and they didn't want to have any uplighting kits on the coaster because they wanted to ensure that the lights that are on the trains can be vivid in the night sky. So wherever you're at Epic Universe, you can see the trains going through the layout. I think it's going to be an awesome ride. And it's Universal, it's Orlando.
Yeah. It's going to have anytime you can get a top elite ride and also theme it super well, it's just goes above and beyond. So it's kind of like when you're looking at Velocicoaster. So, if it's, you would think it would be of that quality in Mack Rides. This will be the first, truly elite coaster coming to the U.S. There are a few, Time Traveler and Copperhead Strike, but I wouldn't say those are elite rides. So this is kind of breaking into the U.S. parks with, kind of on that, Voltron, Hyperia level that they've been, putting out last year. So I think it's exciting, and I think that it is going to be an amazing, truly elite coaster, and it's going to be in a lot of people's top 5s, top 10s, and I think any normal year it would have been #1 on our list. But I'm super excited for it. It's kind of the star thrill attraction for this brand new park that's going to be one of the best parks in the entire world.
Yep.
And we could have added hiccup gliders to the honorable mentions. I think it is. I mean, it's going to be a solid family coaster. Also, the Donkey Kong coaster as well should be pretty solid. But really, hiccup gliders I think would be the number 2 at that park. And I think it could be like a really solid, potentially like a Hagrid's. Probably not quite as good, but from what I've seen, it looks amazing. And that could have been on the list. So if you were wondering where that was, it probably just in our honorable mentions. We just don't value, family coasters as quite as much as thrill coasters. It's just not as much our cup of tea.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's the Stardust Racers it's going to be an elite level theming. It's going to have elite level night rides. It's going to be great to look at, and it looks awesome. Yeah. And it being a dueling coaster, I'm trying to think. I don't think there are any like super elite just dueling coasters out there in the world. So it's like Twisted Colossus, but that's not really they don't ever duel that hardly, and it's not a real dueling. It's you go through both layouts once. This is like an actual dueling coaster, so and kind of an ode to Dueling Dragons, which used to be there. It's the B&M inverts that dueled, which I did like. I rode that, and I liked that one as well. So.
I wasn't able to get on it whenever I went. I echo everything that you really said. I mean, hopefully it's 2 elite rides that, and the fact that it's dueling will give us that first kind of stat in the category of an elite coaster that duels.
Yep, and going into the big number 1 on our list, you know what it is, and it's from a manufacturer that we actually haven't had on the list yet. And they're making a few for Six Flags Qiddiya, but the big one, the one that's standing out, is Falcon's Flight, of course. It's going to be 640 feet. It's going to be 155 miles per hour. It's just like absurd numbers that blow out anything. It's like literally like 200 feet higher than the next closest, 50 miles per hour faster than the next closest. It's like, at least in like a non just, top thrill style coaster. But it's just like, it's absurd. Like it's a chain lift ride. Will it be like an amazing ride? I don't know. Like it might not ride that amazing just because it's so crazy, but it is 100% the most anticipated coaster, not without even a question, because the potential is so high on it. I'm going to be so interested to hear, like, if there's any videos of people's reactions, if there's POVs, like, I'm going to be all over that. I'm going to watch it instantly, and I'm more excited about how this is. Again, the logistics of getting out there are tough, but, like, this ride, if you're an enthusiast, just makes going out there almost a must-do because it's so unlike anything else in the entire world. And it's made by Intamin. So if there's a manufacturer that I kind of trust to make this as a good ride, it's definitely Intamin. They're one, if not a close second for my favorite coaster manufacturer. So I trust Intamin. We'll see how this goes. It's very ambitious, but with an endless budget, I guess we can see what you can do.
Yeah, I think that this just really speaks to, hey, this is the epitome of going on, Roller Coaster Tycoon, or Planet Coaster, just sandbox mode, and just say, okay, let's see what we can do. And that's exactly what they did. They called up
That's
Intamin.
Funny, if you did that, it would be all red because it would say exceeds G-force, exceeds all this and everything. It's like, no, they're doing it.
It's real. But yeah, I think that if you're looking at a manufacturer to push the limits but also provide quality, who else than Intamin?
Yeah, Intamin is literally the best at that. They've been known to push the limits many times, just not nearly this much. So we'll see.
It's going to be awesome. I think you're right. If time will tell whether or not it's actually as elite of a ride, but I think it's easy to say this probably one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated coaster ever, purely for the fact of it just blows all the stats out of the category.
And what if something, if it's not perfect or good, they need to, and I don't know if they're going to do this, but they need to just, they need to tune it and to open the park with it being, until it's ready. Because I could see them, trying to just start this park, and even if it's not necessarily good or what, they need to get this right before it opens. So again, hopefully we'll see it this year. There's no confirmation on that yet, but hopefully we'll see it this year.
Well, the trains look sick too. I'm looking at one of the trains.
It's just.
There's everything about it is just going to be wicked.
It's going to be a marvel to look at, and I'm going to be the first. Whenever I'm stopping whatever I'm doing when the first POV drops and going to look at it.
Yeah, I mean you have to. It's definitely going to be one of those coasters you got to try and get out there if you can. I've got a lot of travel anxiety. I don't like to travel too much far from home, but this is one that's like, ooh, if there's a reason to go, this is it.
All right. Well, those are our top 10 and some honorable mentions. Most anticipated coasters of 2025. Fingers crossed that all of them open this year. And tell us what you think. If your list is any different than ours, if there are some that we completely missed out on that you're super excited for, let us know below. Make sure to follow us. Like the video, and yeah, do you got anything else, Marcus?
Nothing else. As always, like, subscribe here on YouTube, as well as all the podcast platforms. Follow us on TikTok, trying to post some good content over there as well. So be sure to follow along. We've got plenty more content coming your way over the course of the next few weeks, months, until we get to opening day 2025 for most of the parks.
All right. We'll see y'all later.